From Manny, he would have worked on self-development sooner, tried to suck up more of that wisdom earlier in his career. He created DreamFunded, again, over $35 million, from both accredited and non-accredited investors raised through his platform. He's in a unique position in that folks who are non-accredited can choose to go put up $10, $100, or a very small amount of money into ideas that they like. A great way for new companies that are maybe not right for venture capital to go in here and raise money. This is episode 707. Coming up tomorrow morning, you'll learn from Asaf Resnick. He's raised $35 million to tell IT departments which alerts are important and which ones are noise. But first, here's today's episode. This is The Top, where I interview entrepreneurs who are number one or number two in their industry in terms of revenue or customer base. You'll learn how much revenue they're making, what their marketing funnel looks like, and how many customers they have.
I'm now at $20,000 per top.
5 and 6 million. He is hell-bent on global domination. We just broke our 100,000 units sold mark.
And I'm your host, Nathan Latka. Hey guys, Nathan Latka here. My guest this morning is Manny Fernandez. He's a Stanford University-educated angel investor, serial entrepreneur, and best-selling author featured on CNBC's Make Me a Millionaire Inventors premiere episode. He's been successfully investing in his own ideas as well as taking companies from startup to exit. Recently, he was named by Inc. magazine as one of the 33 entrepreneurs to watch in 2016. All right, Manny, are you ready to take us to the top?
Sounds good. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Yep. Thanks for coming on. So, obviously the bio talked a lot about best-selling author, angel investor, etc. But tell us when you actually were in the mud. What was your first company?
Oh, my first company was really just a property. I bought an investment property at the age of 20, and it was really screwed up. So, but it was really profitable after it was fixed. And so,
what is profitable? What was like monthly cash flow?
It was a 6-figure transaction. So it was something I bought and rehabbed and then later resold. And then I realized that I wanted to go from one property to 10. And one of the things that's going to stop me was access to private capital. So that was one of the things early on that I wanted to figure out.
Okay, so when you say now you're an angel investor, what kinds of companies are you investing in?
Primarily high-tech companies. So our most notable investment that I still have on is TaskRabbit.
Mm-hmm. You said our most valuable investment. Tell me about what R means. What have you built?
Say that again?
You said our most valuable investment has been TaskRabbit. So who are the other people? What does R mean?
Oh, I'm a founder of SF Angels Group. We're 32 members. We focus on primarily companies in San Francisco. So I use the word R instead of I a lot to give credit to others because the deal flow comes from others.
And so why would an entrepreneur, angel groups get a bad rap sometimes. Why would someone like you participate in an angel group versus just being an LP in one of these other funds?
The cost is prohibitive for many. So many of the funds are $250,000 per year. And so it's pretty expensive for most people, and they have to be invited, get involved. And you're also pushing the decisions on the general partner to find the opportunities and invest. As an angel, you are finding the deal flow and working with others, and you're making the smaller investment of $25,000 to $50,000 as a group, each come together, and so you can pick and choose, and you can mentor the entrepreneur.
What do you mean when you say the larger funds charge $250,000 per year? You mean the minimum investment is $250,000 per year?
Yes, if you're allowed in, the minimum investment is $250,000 to get involved.
Got it. And so, I imagine, every entrepreneur, they want to go raise from, Kleiner or Bessemer, et cetera, et cetera. How do you guys stay competitive when it comes to getting great deal flow? Maybe share the TaskRabbit story. How'd that land in your lap?
An angel that's a member of SF Angels was an early investor in TaskRabbit. They were doing the next round, and I was invited to be a part of it. So I brought DreamFunded members to be an investor in the fund that we had set up specifically for it.
Okay, and what is this actually? What's the tactical execution of many angels from your fund going into one company? Do you actually form a syndicate and an LLC to hold that money, or do all of you guys end up on the cap table at the company?
It depends on the company. Sometimes we come together as individuals, or we create a single purpose vehicle for that company, and then we invest together, and the entrepreneur receives one check.
And then how do you measure, like, VC, folks, we obviously hear about them in the press when they say this company was an Instagram before it got sold, so they made like X percent. How do you guys, people that participate in these angel deals, when they talk about their total exposure to different asset classes of risk, you mentioned real estate, what kinds of returns are they expecting on these deals, or what are they planning for maybe in 10, 20 years?
Everyone has different preferences. I think many people do it to help the next generation of entrepreneurs, and everyone's thinking that they're going to get maybe a 10 times return, 20 times return, but they have to invest in a portfolio of startups, and most fail. So if people say 10 times, 20 times your money, you guys are really greedy. Well, again, most fail. So if we happen to have one that work out, it makes up for the many that fail and then makes some money.
Mm-hmm. How do you, when the angels in kind of this angel group you've put together start making more and more money, and it becomes easy for them to write the $100,000 check to get in the fund, or the $250,000 fund check into the fund? How do you make sure you keep a solid group of kind of folks in the angel group versus just becoming an LP?
Well, members come and go all the time for different reasons. But we always try to have an invite-only method of members, and some people are successful enough. They are LPs in different Silicon Valley funds. So it's people have their money in different places. This is not one size fits all, and this is not just one asset class that they're investing in.
Why is this something that you want to do? You mentioned you're really good at real estate. Why not keep doing real estate deals?
I still have a few. I still have cash flowing properties. So
yeah, but my question, though, is if that's working for you, why not go all in? Why not keep doing real estate?
The potential of the high returns in tech is not like real estate, where it's cash flow and it moves slowly. I mean, we have seen some appreciation over the last few years, but when you're investing in something that works out really well, and returns are astronomical, but you got to get into that white company.
How do you think about the amount of money you decide, relative to your total net worth, you decide to put each year towards your angel investments versus other things? How do you think about that exposure? Is it 5% of your total net worth, 10%? How do you think about it?
I try to keep it a smaller amount, and so it varies for each person.
Yeah. So yeah, Manny, I want to get your feedback here, right? So are you talking 5%, 10%? This is valuable to somebody else that might be coming from real estate going, I want to get into high tech.
I always suggest to only invest what the person can lose. And if they are able to handle that, then they should make the decision that way. Everyone has different financial wherewithals or abilities. And so it's not so much about percentage, because my percentage may be different than someone else, because I'm in a different financial status than someone else that may have a lot more or a lot less. But since I do this as a profession, I have more in the private tech space than probably others do.
So we're talking 10% exposure, 15, 30, 50?
Everyone's different.
Yeah, Manny, I'm asking you because I'm interviewing you. I want your story, not an average of everybody else. What have you decided to put into your exposure into these high-tech companies?
I understand it's a personal decision, and I'm saying I don't want to make that as a statement for everyone, but it's greater than normal.
What's normal?
I think a person should, if they get involved in angel investing, should probably have a small percentage of their portfolio and start to diversify, maybe 2 to 5%, if they even want to have that dollar amount involved.
Great. See, that's helpful, right? My audience likes to take tangible things. So when you say 2 to 5%, that's very helpful for them to start as a baseline versus just saying normal or generic or relative things. So I appreciate that. So you've codified a lot of what you've learned doing high-tech investing in the form of the site you've built, right? The crowdfunding site you've built. So tell us what DreamFunded does and how it operates.
DreamFunded allows everyday American to be able to invest as low as $100 into a company they decide to invest in. They look online and decide for themselves.
Do people have to be accredited investors to do this?
We're fortunate that we're the first platform in Silicon Valley and San Francisco to receive the approval to allow, they call it non-accredited investors to invest. So we're accepting both now. So that's why the benefit of the check sizes are smaller, but there's also the long-term investment.
And what what positioning did you use to be able to get that approval? It sounds like that's very special. You're the only one that has it. How did you get it, and why did they give it to you?
I've been on the screening community of Thai Angels. I've been an angel investor for a while and created our own angel group. So I'm pretty good at due diligence, so sourcing deals and doing research before we put them on DreamFunded. I'm sure that helps.
Well, Manny, but to be fair, there's a lot of people that are great at due diligence that are angels. What did you do something specific with the government where you were able to get that approval? Again, how'd you do that?
We have to apply to be what you call a registered funding portal.
Okay.
I think one of the reasons that we were first is because I've been involved with the Jobs Act. If you look at the final rules of Title III of the Jobs Act on the SEC site, there's some I'm mentioned in there a couple of times. So I had an understanding of what potentially the rules would be before actually applying to become a registered funding portal. So maybe I had a jump start in our area.
Got it. That's totally helpful. So I'm looking at DreamFunded right now, and I see my time or Me Time Network, Blurp, Me Time Network. It says their target's $100,000. There's 12 days left, and there's 10,500 they've raised so far. I can click Learn More. It looks like to kind of learn more. So you personally, is it true you personally have vetted all these deals?
That's correct.
Okay, and what happens if something doesn't hit the target raised?
Each one has a minimum amount that they will close at. So some are a minimum of 10,000. Say if they hit 10,000, that'll be the minimum. And if they don't hit their minimum, all their money goes back to the investors. Okay.
And are these, so how does it work? If someone listening right now wants to do this, maybe they're not an accredited investor, they want to put a couple $100 into some of these companies, right? They're on the site, they click on it. Where do they see the minimum amount? I don't see that on the company page here.
It should probably be on the right-hand side.
I see minimum investment for example, Me Time Network. It says minimum investment is 500, but what minimum amount do they total have to raise for the thing to close? The target's $100,000.
Yeah, there's a link to a thing called a Form C. Form C is a legal disclosure that's filed with the SEC, and in that Form C, probably in the first few pages, it'll have that information there.
Would an unaccredited investor that's not sophisticated and has no idea what you just said know to go look there to find that information? And if so, why don't they require you to kind of put that out there on the company page?
The minimum that they have to close in order to close the transaction?
Yeah.
It's a good question. Is that an important thing that people should know when they
Well,
make
I mean,
an
I'm
investment?
thinking if my grandma sees something she likes, right, and goes on your site to do it, and she put up $100, which might be a lot of money for her, and she's going, is it going to close or not? She doesn't know. She's thinking, okay, it's got to get to 100. Am I going to get my money back? Or is it going to go in? So it makes kind of financial planning hard.
Well, they'll get emails once they invest and when the closing date's going to be, and if they reach the amount. If not, they'll get the money back. So it's maybe we should have some information up there to let them know the minimum they have to close. Good point.
Interesting. Okay, and what is how do you make money off this? Do you take a cut, or do you just do it at the good of your heart, or what? I wouldn't believe that, by the way, if you said that.
No, it's 5% upon closing. So we get 5% of what the closing of the round and 2% of the shares that the company is offering.
Okay, so go ahead.
No, please continue.
Well, no, it sounds like you're going to qualify that.
Small piece of the company, as well as a percentage of the amount that they are successful in raising.
Got it. And how many companies have closed a deal on DreamFunded to date?
Over 30.
And how much total capital raised?
From the both accredited and not accredited investor side, over 35 million.
Got it. And you said that's kind of in a very certain way there. Why did you split out the two there?
Because the non-accredited investor side is very new, and we received their first approval. Then we haven't released our total funding numbers for the non-accredited investor side yet.
Got it. Understood. And no, but was that inclusive of the 35 million, or it's exclusive?
It's included.
It's included. Okay, got it. And when was that approval given to you? How many months ago, or what year?
The official one was in July of 2016, and we received the escrow on. We had to have a bank approval, so that was I think September 1st.
Okay, and so this was obviously created before that, right? That's why obviously there's this new thing you've added to it. When did you launch DreamFunded?
In the fall of 2014.
Oh, great. Okay, and how many, do you have a team? How many folks are working on it?
We have, our team goes up and down, but it's an average of 12 people.
Okay, and what makes it fluctuate? Like, do you run it kind of like maybe like a VC firm would, where you've got analysts kind of looking at deals, or what do those people do?
Our model changed from the beginning to what it is today. And so when we're working with accredited investors, there's a certain amount of people needed to help increase the base of investors. And then, we have some people that are programming the site and involved in marketing and content and due diligence. There's in legal compliance.
Mm-hmm. Got it. Last question here before we wrap up. Before we wrap up with the famous five, if a company like, I'm looking at one here called WorkCar, right, comes on here to raise capital, let's say they hit the target of $100,000, but in the process, Bessemer Ventures saw this deal on DreamFunded and said, hey, even if you meet your target, don't take it, we'll invest. Can they do that, or are they forced to accept if that target is hit?
This happened already. There's a company that reached their target and received an investment from a big name company, and so they declined to use our platform. So it happens. There's another company that was very close to raising six figures, and they got accepted into an incubator. So we bring attention to some companies, and we want the best for the entrepreneur, so it doesn't work out all the time.
Okay, Top Tribe, I have to tell you, many people go, Nathan, you came out of nowhere, your website's growing so fast, how'd you do it? The answer is simple. So I use HostGator, I don't know if you guys know that, but I use HostGator, and the reason I do, they have like about 4,500 free templates I can use because I don't code. They've got a great e-commerce plugin, and guys, I bug the heck out of their support. They've got 24/7 support, which I love. So what I've done is I've worked with them. You guys know I make great deals. If you go to hostgator.com/Nathan, you can sign up, get your own domain for 30% off and a 45-day money-back guarantee. Okay, again, I make great deals for you guys. Go to hostgator.com/Nathan to grab that now.
Yep, makes good sense. Manny, let's wrap up here with the famous five. Number one, what's your favorite business book?
Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill.
Number two, is there a CEO you're following or studying right now?
I'm always studying Steve Jobs.
Number three, is there a favorite online tool you have, like HostGator?
I love the different social media sites, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook. Those are very good tools for what we're doing.
Number four, how many hours of sleep do you get every night?
It varies. 4, 6, 8, it depends.
What's the average number that you get per night?
Probably 6.
6? All right. And what's your current situation? Married, single, you have kids?
I'm single.
Okay, single. No kids that you know of?
You're funny.
You don't like my sense of humor very much, do you?
You're pretty direct. I love your focus.
Well, it's good. You have to be. We have 15 minutes. Got to get in and get out. Okay, so not married, no kids, and how old are you, Manny?
39.
Okay, so last question. Take us back 19 years. What do you wish your 20-year-old self knew?
That if I kept working on self-development and kept pushing myself over fear, I would be farther along. I think also listening to mentors that are successful and asking questions and really thinking through what they're saying versus disregarding it because I think I'm young and hotshot. Wisdom and experience really beats no matter how great talents you have.
There you guys have it. From Manny, he would have worked on self-development sooner, tried to suck up more of that wisdom earlier in his career. He created DreamFunded, again, over $35 million, from both accredited and non-accredited investors raised through his platform. He's in a unique position in that folks who are non-accredited can choose to go put up $10, $100, or a very small amount of money into ideas that they like. A great way for new companies that are maybe not right for venture capital to go in here and raise money. Manny, thank you for taking us to the top.
Pleasure's all mine. Thanks for having me.
If you enjoyed Manny today, go back and listen to Vinay yesterday. This 31-year-old raised $1.3 million to help you be more efficient in a pretty awkward way.